morning. Welcome to Viking Preparedness. I'm Pastor Joe Fox on this gray day. They say the sun's coming out. The sun will come out tomorrow. Actually, they say it'll come out today. This is how not to park your backhoe attachment, thus making it a little bucket. We had a thunderstorm last night. A thunderstorm in January, and it rained a lot. Just down here at this little bit, I'm looking and it's like, wow, what a mess from the water. And so we have Shofarians who live here on the land, who work off the land. And I told them, hey, you may want to go do a recon of our way out. We may have to take the backhoe off of Jack and put the box blade back on and go grade that road to get out of here. So that may be what I'm doing this morning. Oh, one more thing before we get going on the video. You know, a little walkabout. Look at this water. We planted this, this is a weeping willow Sister Kate wanted. We planted it there on purpose because the water kind of naturally went this way, and then I did a little bit of very shallow ditching to make sure it does. So the water flows off this part of the land, right over the roots of that willow tree, and then into our pond. And it has worked well. That tree's grown in the last couple of years. Check these bad boys out. Can you see those? Woo, slipped. Yeah, we lift up logs with them now. We can adjust them in or out for pallets and things like that. And they weren't that much, those forks. I got them online. I think they're less than $200 total. So we've been using those. We like them. I'm wearing my Norm would approve, my wellies. All right. So, as some of you know who follow her channel, Sister Kate has been gone. We tried to keep it on the down low a little bit. She's coming back today. She has always said that when our daughters have their babies, definitely their first baby, that she would take 2 weeks and go be with them, like right before the birth and then through the first, week or so of the baby, to do that motherly advice, help, thing. And without getting into too much detail, our daughter went a month early. And so it was one of those middle of the night phone calls, and Sister Kate and another sister here from the land took off before the sun came up, and with like no notice. And wow, I'll probably do a video on that. Let me just say this, Sister Kate works her hiney off around here now that I've been doing her jobs too. I may have already talked to y'all about that a little bit, but she's coming back today. Hallelujah, praise the Father. Two things in particular I want to talk about today. One is the simpler of them, masks. Boy, some of y'all are still energized on both sides of that issue. I don't really care what you think about masks. Do you? You do you, boo. Do what you want. But some of y'all are way too emotionally invested in that. On both sides. Here's the deal. What's that stupid thing they say on the internet? Prove me wrong, or something like that. They, the scientists, the doctors or whatever, have said, and many pro-mask people have forgotten, that wearing a mask does not protect, in this case, me, from COVID. It protects you from my COVID, if I have COVID. Supposedly. None of the scientists say that me wearing a mask protects me. So to that end, you can understand people seeing someone without a mask getting a little irritated. Work with me, people, if they see that, because it's like you're potentially infecting me. Here's the deal. That's what the scientists say. I think it's all bunk. Anyway, and I don't care if you disagree with me. It doesn't matter. That's not the argument I'm trying to have here. I personally think it's bunk. 1, 2, I've had COVID. So If I've had COVID already, I can't get it again, right? If it's a virus, right? And therefore me wearing a mask doesn't prevent you, blah, 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 right? You can't get it from me because I've already had it. So that's 2. And 3, if that's not necessarily the case, you can get it again, Pastor Joe, then why is anyone taking a vaccine that has potential deadly side effects? If you can get the disease again, your vaccine's not going to work. See, these things just don't make sense. I've told you this before in the past. My wife is a mask wearer. Whenever we go in public, she wears a mask. Some of you who have been married as long as I have, 35 years, blissfully married, you know that you got to go along to get along with some things. Compromise is a thing in a marriage, by the way, which is probably what's wrong with a lot of marriages today. People don't compromise. It's my way or the highway all the way. And guess what? That highway looms large. So she's big into masks, and we've talked about it, and it's just like it got to the point with me where it's just like, it's not worth discussing. It's not worth arguing about. And I don't care about wearing a stupid little mask when I'm with her and we go somewhere. If I'm by myself, I don't wear it. If I'm with her, I put it on. It just keeps her happy, whatever. She got mad at me last time I said that. So don't be picking on my wife or I'll ban you. But so I do that, knowing it doesn't work. But then I got to thinking, where I'm going with this is I just ordered the cool masks, which I guess I'll talk about in a minute. I ordered them for me and my wife. Because here's what I got to thinking. The world is changing. It's not as friendly as it once was. Cameras are everywhere. Everywhere. I got the masks that have the little point that come up. I don't have them yet. They're coming. They go like this and then around, and they're black. They're cloth. Right? I'm going to wear that mask when I'm in public. Wear that mask, wear my dark sunglasses, wear a hat, and if the weather's anywhere near cool, I'm going to wear a hood. I am. It wasn't that long ago, you walk into a liquor store or a gun store or something with a mask on and guns are coming out from behind the counter. But now it's expected. I'm going to take advantage of that. I'm going to become more invisible, more difficult to identify when out in public. I'm going to play the game. I'm not playing it for COVID. I'm playing it because you're giving me an excuse to hide my identity when we're out there. Because I get it, and I've said it. The masks are dehumanizing. Do you know where I talk to the people I talk to? Or at their camps, or whatever. I hang out with our people, and we never wear masks when we're together, so we're not dehumanizing ourselves. So there you go. That's my little take on the mask thing. I'll be interested in your comments on the privacy versus not issue. I think we can play their game with it. So that's one. Number 2, and this is take 2. I wanted to say it when I was talking about the thunderstorms last night. So I put the fire out last night because I knew I wouldn't need it. And Sister Kate's not here, and she likes it a little bit warmer than me because I don't care. I'm a caveman. And so I let the fire go out. Excuse me. COVID. And got up this morning. It was chilly. I mean, I have a t-shirt, a long sleeve t-shirt, this sweatshirt, and this sweatshirt. And I had a knit hat on. And I was getting ready to come out here and shoot this video. And the first thing I had to do was feed critters. And so I came out here and did that first. And when I walked out, I was like, oh, I went back inside the house and opened up the doors and windows. It was colder in my house by probably 7, 8, 10 degrees, somewhere in there. I mean, significantly temperature difference in the house than it was outside of the house, because I had let the house get cold yesterday when it was cold. It's insulated pretty well. And then the warm front moved in, which I guess caused the thunderstorm. And it's actually, I'm overdressed right now. Before I get to work today, I'll be shedding layers here on Shofar Mountain. So masks, yeah, I ordered them. I'm gonna go incognito, man, when I'm walking around. So that's that. And then number 2, I always see it. I did a video, I guess, I actually filmed that video Friday, but it didn't get uploaded until after sundown on Friday night, so that's why I had to wait till yesterday. Whenever I do a video telling people to move to the country, which you all should move to a rural area. Every one of you, every last one of you should move to a rural area. I don't care if you live in Scotland. You should go live in a rural area. Here comes my recon right now. Shalom, brother. I always get the comments, don't be telling people to move out here. I like the population density the way it is. I don't want those, what somebody call them, parasites? Watch your tone, watch your tone. All y'all, watch your tone. I know you're excited. I know you're upset. I know there's a lot of tension and emotion running through your brain. Do not call names on Viking preparedness. I almost banned somebody yesterday. You can take the four-wheeler if you want. I mean, whatever. For calling names and calling somebody an idiot or something, and then that precipitated a back and forth. Guys, don't call people names. And when you say people from the city are parasites, there are people on here from the city, so you're calling them parasites. Does that make sense to you? Don't do that here. This is not the YouTube. This is not the internet where we get to troll people and score points. We don't do that. Number one rule here, Viking preparedness, be cool to each other. Remember that. Especially as things get more tense. Anyway, you know, don't tell people to come out here. I like the population density the way it is. Don't tell those parasites to come out here. Yada, yada, yada. That's the last thing we need is a bunch of city coats coming here. Quit telling people to come here. Check it, people. Try to understand this. Seriously, try to understand this. Property is going up for sale in the country. I am not putting property up for sale. Property is going up for sale. When it goes up for sale, someone is going to buy it. Read the newspaper. People from all over the country have seen what Antifa et al. Are doing, and they're buying rural property like it's going out of style. Here in this immediate area, there's a whole development of land that was farms that went up for sale, and I was talking to a real estate agent, and people were calling from New York and New Jersey. We're in the Ozarks, people. We're a long way away. We're like a 24-hour drive away from New York and New Jersey. Buying the property sight unseen because the prices were so good and they wanted it so bad. So what do you think that did to prices here? Doom, 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 doom. Well, check it. I'm not the guy telling those people to buy property here. They don't listen to me. They don't watch this old geezer out here living on off-grid lifestyle. No. The people who listen to me are people like you. They're preppers. They're generally freedom-oriented. They're somewhat homesteady-oriented. They see what's going on and they're preparing for the future. That's who watches my channel. So would you rather have somebody come in and buy that property right up the road for you that's for sale and is going to sell? Would you rather have somebody who just throws money around and they think that's how they solve problems and, you know, they don't know anything and blah, 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 blah. They're just a typical CNN, MSNBC, Fox News watching drone? Pastor Joe, you just called some Vikings drones. We're not allowed to do that. Sit down. Buying that property or somebody who watches me? If I had the choice of a New Jersey banker who's got no interest in preparedness at all other than we got to get out of here, buying that property, or New Jersey person who's been watching Viking preparedness for 6 years and is like, man, finally it's sinking in and we need to go and we need to prepare, one of those guys is going to come here and set themselves up and be a general asset to the community. The other one's going to come here and be a parasite because they're going to rely on everybody else. And when things go bad, they might not have their little homesteads set up in their food stores and all that. So guys, me telling people to come here is a good thing. My audience isn't that big that, you know, Time Magazine is picking up what Pastor Joe says and then regular people are coming. It's just us. I'm trying to determine what the reconnaissance found by the fact that they drove by. Might be going to check out the box blade, because that's not here. This is the brush hog. So anyway, I think I'm doing us out here in the country a favor by inviting people to come here, because the only people listening to me are basically preppers. Come on. That's about what I wanted to say today. I've got a lot of work to do. I like to... Did you ever see I just met a guy the other day who has never... And I don't know, he's probably 30-something. He's never seen an episode of Gilligan's Island. Did you ever watch... we were talking about he has seen some Mayberry RFD. Have you ever seen Mayberry RFD, the show? Andy Griffith show, that one? There was one... It's not the same show, Pastor Joe. Yeah, I know, it is. There was one where Aunt Bee is going on a trip somewhere. She goes away and she leaves Andy and Opie and stuff back at home, and she's all worried about them, you know, that how are they going to do without her around to take care of them for a week or whatever. And so while she's gone, and she's really worried when she leaves, Andy and Opie are like, man, you know what, she's really worried that we can't take care of ourselves. We should show her that we can. And so they clean up the place. They make it nice. You know, they wash all the dishes. I mean, everything's perfect when Aunt Bee comes home. And she looks around at perfection, and she starts getting sad because she sees that she's not needed. You know, that's the kind of the arc of the story. And so then they decide, well, let's really trash the place. So she's got to, you know, complain at us and pick up behind us and stuff and know that she's needed. And so they do that. I don't know what it is. You know, when Sister Kate and I are here together, we have a division of duties, which I have a couple minutes. So I'm going to talk about that a little bit. Division of duties by sexes. If you read history, they pretty much stick along a theme all throughout human history. There's women's work and there's men's work. I know, and some women are upset about that. In my book, I think I have a phrase, some of you just threw the book across the room now or something. Go pick it back up. There's a reason for that. Strength, attitude, aggression, testosterone. Are there exceptions? Always. But generally speaking, around here, I do the heavy lifting, and Sister Kate does the more delicate things. Sister Kate can do heavy lifting. She can carry a 40-pound bucket of water if she has to. But she has me, so she doesn't have to. I can wash dishes. I washed dishes while she was gone. But washing dishes takes time. And while the dishes are being washed, something else has to be done, like carrying heavy things. Or doing a video. So... I lost my train of thought a little bit. Oh, when you move to the country, it kind of becomes clear what those divisions are. Now, I know we have one Viking. I don't know if she wants me to mention her by name. She can comment if she does. Who's doing it all herself. A woman. That's why she has my respect. Because I know what she's doing. I mean, it's not like I live with her, but I know what she's doing. And it's not easy, gang. But there's a reason for division of labor. And when you move to the country, if you're not doing that now, you might want to think about that. We had somebody visit the Shofarians, a couple, and the wife got all bent out of shape at what our wives do versus what the men do, and dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun, and acted like our women were all beat up and put upon and that kind of thing. And it's like, you clearly haven't sat down and chatted with our women. They are strong, independent, oftentimes stubborn women who know their place. Does that make you mad? That's not what I mean. I know how it sounded. That's why I said it that way. Who know, hey, things get done more efficiently on this homestead, which is a team effort, if I do this and he does that. Or the guy says, if I does this and she does that. It just works better, and more gets done. Less got done in about the 2 weeks since Sister Kate's been gone here on the homestead, because I had to do her chores too. Because I think, I don't know if it's Lon or Ken, one of y'all said, the chores are still there, gang. The chores don't go away, right? Just because you're not feeling it today doesn't mean the chickens don't need to eat. Doesn't mean the water doesn't need to be hauled. The firewood doesn't need to be replenished. Yeah, it's constant work. It's constant work. And we have been blessed as a nation. Oh, I'm back to country living again. We have been blessed as a nation with leisure. Leisure. We have freedom to just lay about and complain and troll people on the internet because we don't have enough real work to do. And, you know, if that's what you want, if you just want to get your toenails done and, you know, manscape and, you know, go get a massage and go shopping and go out to eat and dun. Cool. I find it a pretty shallow life. I've lived that life, believe it or not. I find it shallow. This is real living, and this is going to pay off manyfold when the whole system collapses. I got a conversation I have to have, so y'all take care, and don't worry, I'm not ruining things by inviting us out here. I'll see you out here.